What up, what up, what up, what up? Y'all already know who it is, man. It's a real life story time, man. I'm gonna go ahead and title this thing, man, Nice Don't Cut It. And this trucking industry is all cutthroat, man. Everybody is selfish. They for themselves, man. So you gotta take your kind heart and leave it at home whenever you get in that truck, man. Be professional, but don't be too nice. Don't be no fool. And it's story time. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to me. So I end up taking a load from Florida, from St. Augustine, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia. Took it all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to the airport. All right, so when I first got there, I see 6 big bulky pallets laying on the ground. And I see them out there wrapping it, and then they trying to take some off the top and all that. And then they're like, hey, we glad you came because the other driver, he fell asleep. And then the wife and the husband is kind of going back and forth about how tall the pallets has to be, and they're out there kind of measuring stuff or whatever. So I called the broker and I say, hey, look, you guys did not tell me that this was driver assist. So they responded back to me and said, well, if you read what's on the rate card, it says, driver must have a lift gate. Just because it says driver must have a lift gate don't automatically means that it's driver assist. And I told them that. I done a lot of loads that said driver must have lift gate pallet jack. So what people will do to save money is they will have their own people load up a few pallets or whatever with your truck and your lift gate and everything. Like, they would do it themselves. You know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with it as long as, they're reliable if something was to happen. It's not on me. And a lot of times that's included on the paperwork on the rate card. So just because it says driver must have pallet jack lift gate don't necessarily mean that you're telling me I got to pick up 6 bulky pallets off the ground that wouldn't even fit side by side. I had to put 5 pallets on one side of my truck. I'm glad they wasn't super heavy. The total weight was probably 3,000 pounds. I was only able to get 2 pallets side by side, and the rest of them, the 5 had to go on one side. They was that bulky. And so I called back. I say, hey man, I'm requesting an extra $125 for my driver assist because y'all didn't tell me that before I put anything on my truck or whatever. So they end up redoing a rate card and adding extra $100 to it. So that made it $900, and I told her too when I got on the phone. I say, listen, last time I did this job, which I put the pallets onto my truck and took it to Atlanta airport, I said I charged $1,000. I got paid $1,000. I said, you offered me $800. I didn't even fight you on that. I said, but I am gonna fight you on the fact that you didn't tell me it was driver assist. So they end up paying it or whatever, this, that, and the third. So all right, cool. All right, so it didn't have to be there till the next day. All right, cool. But before I took the load, I asked, because I did it through my dispatch, I asked my dispatcher, I say, hey, ask them, could I drop it off tomorrow between 2:30 and 3 p.m.? So came back and dispatcher said that she called the broker, and the broker told her, hey, he has anywhere from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. I said, okay, that's a good window. You know what I mean? I ain't really got to rush or whatever. So, I parked my truck, went home, went to sleep, woke up to my phone ringing. So my phone ringing, and I'm getting a email, text message, like all 3, phone ringing, email, text. Hey, you were supposed to be at the airport at 6 this morning. Where are you? This, that, and the third. So I'm getting the cold out my eye. I'm like, well, what's going on? So, I tell them on the email, it's like 5 people on the email, CC'd in or whatever. I say, hey, I was told that I can be to the airport between 6 and 8. So I called my dispatcher like, hey, what's going on? You told me that I can be there between 6 and 8. You said that. She said it was okay. And my dispatcher said, she did. She did say it was okay. And I was like, okay, cool. She was like, so then I said, well, you need to come on that email and, let them know who told you that. So my dispatcher get on the email like, hey, Miss Julia, you whatever lady name is, she said, you said it was okay. it was okay to be there between 6 and 8 or whatever. So, all right, cool. So the dude was like, well, I say, well, I'll leave now, and this is just me being nice again. I say, well, I'll go ahead and leave now. It was probably about 7 in the morning. I said, I'll leave now. So I end up getting on the road by 8. So while I'm driving on the road like 8 o'clock, I get another phone call from, I guess, the manager of the on the floor saying, hey man, I need you to get there by 2 o'clock, such and such, like demanding. So I say, hold on, wait a minute. I say, wasn't you on the email chain? I say, did you see where I was told that I didn't have to be there at 8? You know what I'm saying? I got between 6 and 8.
I know.
Yeah, but I need you to get there. Hang on. I don't know who that is. So basically, man, I forgot where I was at. Lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, he's kind of like demanding. So I'm like, look, I can get there by 2:30. I say that's the best I can do because I got to stop and get fuel. I might have to take a restroom break. Now, y'all ain't finna just make me go ahead, foot the throttle on this. So he got out the phone or whatever. So long story short, they done text and called me, emailed like 4 more times before I get to Atlanta. Everybody checking in. Hey, this is my last time calling, I promise. Are you still on track? So everybody harassing me about it. All right, make it to the airport. As soon as I make it to the airport, I text the main guy that's in charge. Hey, I'm here. He was like, okay, are you loaded? I'm here, dude. I just got here. How am I gonna be loaded if I just got here? They do stuff like that. So I'm like, no, I'm not loaded. I just got here. Okay, well, did you take a ticket yet? Bro, I just got here. I'm finna do all that. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I get there. First of all, I had to wait on some more paperwork because now that it wasn't there at 6 in the morning, they had to redo it. And they had to send somebody from another company around the corner to bring me the paperwork, print it out and bring it to me. So I had to meet that person, then go get in line. All right. So, I'm waiting. And if you guys ever did any airport deliveries, man, it's not a force to be reckoned with. Like, you don't really want to be at the airport. Like, I'm just saying, if you got to do airport, charge more money. You know what I'm saying? I probably won't do them no more unless I charge like a good extra $200 on top of it. If you want to pay it to me, cool. If not, I'll pass. But anyway, so I'm in the airport sitting. I'm 2 hours before anybody even say something to me, and call my number or whatever. So I'm there for like 2 hours. All right, so while I'm sitting there waiting on for 2 hours, I'm still getting messages and email. Are you loaded yet? Are you loaded yet? Hey, do they have you loaded and all that good stuff, right? So I'm like, no, I'm still waiting. I'm like, boy, this is so aggravating. So while I'm sitting down, another 30 minutes later, so now it's 2.5 hours, it's a lady that was on the forklift, and she looked over there. She said, that's your stuff? Because they then told me to go ahead and take it off the truck after about 2 hours. So then after I got it off the truck, I thought, okay, I'm good. They say, no, you got to wait back in line. You got to wait back in line in order to get some other kind of paper, you know what I'm saying, before you can go. I'm like, are you serious? So as I'm waiting, another 30 minutes passed by. I can't make this up. Lady was driving the forklift. She say, hey, is this your stuff that you pulled out truck? I say, yeah. She say, baby, that's more than 63 inches or whatever it was. She said, that's more than 63 inches. She was like, that's not going to fit nowhere. She was like, baby, they going to reject that. So I'm like, what do you mean they going to reject it? So I'm like, huh? So while a dude was calling me again, checking on the status. So I say, hey, man, I understand why you guys are, calling me and everything. There's another wrench that's done been thrown in place. I say, now they're saying that, the pallets are too high. So he was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He was like, who told you that? I was like, well, it was this the lady that was driving the forklift. He said, well, no, you're gonna have to get a second opinion on that, from one of the people behind the counter, whatever. So I'm like, oh boy. So I went over to the counter and I was, I interrupted somebody. I'm like, hey guy, I'm sorry. Can you go check this, because I've been sitting here for a while or whatever. So he was like, yeah, let me check and see if it's too high. He went and got his ruler, and it was too high. So I'm telling the guy on the phone, I'm like, yeah, it's too high. They here measuring now. Can you get him to do it again and you take a picture of the ruler? I'm like, I can't tell you that these people are just gonna, sit here with the tape measure and allow me just to take pictures. I say, but I'll ask them. But the guy was nice enough to do it. So I took some more pictures, sent it to them. They sent it to the customer or whatever. So, all right. So then the customer lied on me. The customer say, I came there and measured and told them that it was good to go. I say, why would she lie like that? I was like, that she appeared to be a nice lady, her and her husband. They actually appeared to be nice people, right? And I never would have thought that she would have said that, because the only thing that I ever told this lady, I say, hey, make sure you got all your paperwork. I say, because if you don't, it can be a bad delay. That's how the airports work. Don't miss and not have one paper. That's all I told her. I don't know anything about measurements. I didn't have a ruler. We didn't talk about it. Her and her husband was talking about it, but I told her I don't know when it comes to, stuff like that or whatever. So, yeah, she had done lied on me. And just for lying on me, I wanted to stop dealing with it altogether because I don't like to be lied on. So the guy on the phone like, well, once you get the rejection letter, because the airport now is finna issue me a rejection letter saying that those that pallet and that load is too tall to get on the plane. So he said, once you get the rejection letter, can you take this stuff, put it back on the truck and hold it until tomorrow and then deliver it in the morning? I say, no, I got a $750 load to take back home from Atlanta back to Jacksonville. You don't really get that often. You don't really get a round trips often. So now you messing up my round trip. I say, look, man, I say, I can't do that. I say, I got another load that I need to pick up at 4 o'clock or whatever. I say, I cannot do that. So he was like, well, you just can't leave it at the airport. I'm like, the hell I can? You know what I'm saying? Like, my job been done. My job was to take it to the airport, drop it off. That was my job. Take it from Florida, take it to the airport, drop it off. I done my job. So he was like, well, just hold for me just a moment. And keep in mind, on the other end, I'm telling the guy that I have to pick my second stop. I'm telling him everything that's going on, and I'm late. Now I'm late. And then now he think I'm lying. So I'm late, and now he thinks that I'm lying. I literally called him and say, hey, buddy, this is what's going on. He was like, so you didn't know that the load was going to get rejected until 2 hours later? That sounds kind of fishy to me. I don't know about that. So I hung up in his face. You know what I'm saying? All this that I'm going through, and you still going to tell me I'm lying to you? I bashed the phone on him. So when I hung up the phone, he sent an email. I'm going to get your MC revoked and banned or something because your driver is lying. He CC'd me and the dispatcher. Your driver is lying. I'm going to report the MC. So I'm going through all of this while, you know what I'm saying, dealing with this load for Atlanta. So I'm like, oh my goodness. All right, so just to sum everything up, I get a phone call back. So they tell me the load that I'm currently on for Atlanta, they say, hey, look, hey man, I tell you what, we just rearranged some things, worked some things out. You don't have to sit with the load until tomorrow. What's gonna happen is you're gonna take the load around the corner. They're gonna rewrap it, you know what I'm saying, the pallets or whatever. And once you drop it off there, you're good. So I say, so you want me to take this load from off the airport floor, load it back up into my truck, then drive it somewhere else? Yeah, man, but it's only 5 minutes away. It's only 5 minutes away. So I'm like, I need to get paid. Oh, don't worry, man. We'll get with your dispatcher and everything and this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? And try to get you, get you some extra money, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, my first thought was to just leave it there until I got an updated rate card, But then on the other hand, I still had time to make it to my next pickup if I was to hurry up and load it back on the truck now and then just go. I'll have time to make it to my second pickup. So I'm fighting the two. I'm fighting to leave this stuff here at the airport and just leave, or I'm fighting to just put the stuff back on the truck, take it around the corner, and hope that they, they pay me and everything works out or whatever. All right, so I end up putting the stuff back on my truck that was on the airport floor, put it on my truck, drove it around the corner, delivered it. All right, then went to my next pickup. Keep in mind, I was at the airport for like 4 hours. So I told the guy that I was talking to, he was like, hey, did you make it to the place where they can rewrap it and everything? I say, hey, I'm just pulling up now. I say, but I need up-to-date Raycon from you guys, or I need some kind of BOL saying that I went here instead of the airport. He was like, well, just write it on a paper saying that, you delivered it to where you're delivering it from. You know what I'm saying? He was like, that'd be good. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. He was like, also, just make sure you put your in and out time on everything or whatever. So I did that, and then I wrote on a little message like, hey, you know what I'm saying, these are my hours, hey, these are some of the stuff that I did, the reason why I had to wait 4 hours, put the stuff back on the truck, drove it somewhere else. All right, so the load was done and everything. So it was about, what time was it then? It was probably like 5 o'clock, 4:30, something like that, before I got on my way to the new pickup. So when I submitted the paper, I had emailed everybody back. It was about 5 people on a email chain, from the Florida to Georgia airport load. So I sent them all the message. I say, hey, I just submitted the the signed BOL also with my time. Could you guys go ahead and do an updated Raycon? And guess how many people responded out of all them 5? None. 0. Nobody responded. So I say, how they not respond when I talk to 4 or 5 different people every 30 minutes or every 15, 20 minutes before I got to the airport? And then while I was at the airport, I'm talking to people literally every 15 or 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes every 30 minutes, but I'm talking to people consistently. Now when I submit that paperwork and I say, hey, I need my money, you know what I'm saying, for all the extra work, detention, nobody responded. I say, well, I'll try them in the morning because, it is about 5 o'clock. So, everybody is tired, exhausted. Next day came. I sent an email. Hey, whoop the whoop. Hey, y'all, can y'all go ahead and take care of this? Now guess how many people responded? 0. Nobody responded again. So I say, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So I'm like, they didn't respond. So I'm like, I hit my dispatch. I say, hey, can you call the broker personally and tell them, like, I need them to get a handle of this? And this was today. I'm like, hey, can you call? I said, I sent 2 emails. I thought one, you know what I'm saying? And still ain't heard nothing back. So she was like, yeah, I talked to her. She say she's getting the supervisor to check into it or whatever. But I haven't heard nothing back from them yet still. You know what I mean? So what time is it? It's 10:19 my time, Eastern time. Haven't heard anything back still. So I'm like, I don't know. So when I say the nice stuff, it ain't gonna work. So this is my third time that somebody played with me, because at one time I had slept in my truck because I had a late pickup, and the broker gave me the wrong pickup number, and they couldn't give me the new pickup number until like 3 o'clock that morning, but the building was closed, and they said they don't open at 6 in the morning. So I had to sleep in my truck from 11 p.m. all the way to the next morning, 6 o'clock. And they was like, yeah, we're going to put in your layover. They never paid me my layover. I've been calling and calling. It's 3 weeks later now, and they thought I forgot. So I called Friday, and I said, hey, my layover from the, Colorado trip. Oh, yeah, we were looking into that. Yeah, we see it right here. Let me put you on hold and talk to them. So they put me on hold and hung up the phone. Never came back to the phone. Nobody never called back. So people, they don't pay layovers. They don't pay detention, a lot of them. So the best thing that you can do is, and it's not being nasty, because some people probably would have thought that I was a nasty person for leaving the palace at the airport and going to my next job. They might have thought, oh, that was so rude. We don't want to work with him no more. because your driver did something like that. We don't like that company. But at the end of the day, that driver did his job. So what I should have did was left that stuff at the airport, or either told them I'm not moving until I get an updated rate card. I'm not moving nothing until that money shows on paperwork that I'm gonna get it. Because once you do the work, good luck with trying to get the money later. So, you know, even with the layover, right, where I slept in my truck, I should have told them, hey, I'm not gonna pick this load up until, you know what I'm saying, y'all send me an updated rate card, or I see my money change in the system. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to get paid, and it's all business. It's all business. It ain't really being, you know, you just can't be nice. You just cannot be nice. There's nobody out there that's willing to do right when it comes to your money with this thing, man. So, you know, if you're coming in this thing and you thinking like people are going to be like, oh, okay, they're professional and trustworthy about that dollar, bro, it's not happening. You know what I mean? So that's the story I want to share with y'all. And I know more than me experienced this. And also just want to let y'all know, it's a reason why people say, man, bump that trucking, because they see the glam life of it. And they see that people say, oh, you can make $5,000 to $7,000 a week. And like I say, even companies are advertising you can make $6,000 to $7,000 a week. You know what I mean? And again, I'm going to keep making these type of videos saying that show me somebody that's clearing $6,000 a week, or just even grossing it in a box truck. Show me somebody that's doing that every week for at least 90 days consistently. 60 days. Show me they doing it for 60 days. Like, for all the celebrity box truck channels, I'm calling them out too. Show me somebody that's making that bread in the box truck, owner operator, consistently for 60 days. 60 to 90 days. Show me that y'all doing $6,000 to $7,000 gross weekly. I need to see paperwork. I need to see direct deposits. Let's do this. Like, I'm calling them out. I'm calling them out. You know what I mean? And they might, you know, and for people that can say, yeah, man, you know, BoxTruck BJ, you only been in the game a year and a half, or this, that, and the third. Okay, one thing about me, I'm very intelligent, I'm very smart, I'm very bright, I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? So, you know, I did my research, right? I did my research. So, especially if you're following the ELD rules, you're really not making that consistently every week. Especially if you're following the ELD rules. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, I've done research, homework. I even broke rules. You know what I mean? Like, I done did 1,900 miles in a day. In a day, and probably, I don't even want to say a day and a half, in less than a day and a half. I done some crazy stuff, man. Like, I done drove so much to, I think I hit the road one week, and I think I didn't have a hotel but probably twice. And that was like 7 days. And I made a killing. You know what I mean? I got up to seven, a little bit over 7,000, 7,200. Forgot what I actually took home after fuel and stuff like that. But I broke all kind of rules, man. Like, I was so tired. I had started seeing stuff in the street. Like, tell me y'all doing this every week. Even if you get dedicated lanes, you still not, man, all right, show it to me. Show me. Don't get up in my comment section and talk crazy. Show me. Show me. So I can learn. I admit I was wrong. Show me. Don't go make a hot paycheck and say, hey, look what I made OTR. Because if you anything like me, they're going to hate on you anyway. So much hate on my video. All I put up was 5,500. Uh-oh, I think they ready to offload me now. All I put up was 5,500. And now all of a sudden, I got too much going on in the camera. But I ain't have too much going on in the camera when I was making $2,000 and $3,000. But now I put up 55 and it's like, I'm showing off. But y'all ain't see me starting from the bottom and then going to the top. I wasn't showing off when I made 1,700. I wasn't showing off when I made 2,300. You know what I'm saying? Our people the worst. the worst. It's crazy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I done tried that twice now. No more Mr. Nice Guy, man. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know like how it is. Out here, they had to call some people to offload because they didn't pay me, so I didn't move the stuff. What's going on, man? All right, y'all ready to get it? Pull up some? Right, yes, sir, I got you. We'll do, man.
I'm actually gonna unload half over here and then the other half over there. If that's all right.
All right, just let me know what to do. Oh, man. If y'all still with me, they booked this load and they said no driver assist. It's appliances from GE, no driver assist. So the guy was like, can me and him get it off the truck? I say, well, let me call the broker and see if he'll pay me some more money. Broker ain't answer the phone. Called him back again, went to the voicemail. So I'm not touching nothing on the back of this truck. Ain't no Mr. Nice Guy. So they had to call some guys out. They called some guys out to come offload this truck. I don't know how much they paying that company. But it wasn't gonna be me. I could have helped. I ride detention out. If I was gonna stay here too long waiting on this company to come, they'd have had to pay me detention. You know what I mean? No more Nice Guy. Don't worry. But anyway, man, it's gonna be some nice apartments. They got some brick at the bottom and everything. Anyway, guys, your boy BoxTruck BJ, man. Stay blessed and keep trucking.